Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and this is Rajni. Today my attempt is to interpret Tiger Woods' chart. In this video I will try and explain how an event will come to fruition when Dasha and Transit come together, and go over the planets in the natal chart, which is the birth chart, and how the timing of an event can be seen through all this. Tiger Woods was born on December 30th, 1975 at 22:50 p.m. in Long Beach, California. Of course, Tiger Woods does not need any introduction, but we all know that he is a professional golfer. Now, he was recently in the news about the tragic but non-fatal car accident on February 23rd, 2021. So let us go ahead and see where his planets are placed in his birth chart and how the Dasha and Transit played a key role in bringing about this unfortunate accident. And I will be using Vedic astrology to do my interpretation today. So here I have the birth chart as well as the transit chart for February 23rd, 2021. Now, as you will see from his birth chart, it is evident that the ascendant Lagna ruler is Mercury. Sign in the ascendant is Virgo. From the ascendant, we can see the person's personality, appearance, name and fame, also longevity, and also we can see one's reputation. Venus rules the second house of wealth, family, and speech, and is placed in the third house with Moon in the sign of Scorpio. So Moon is also in the third house, ruling the 11th house of income and fulfillment of desires and wishes. Now, Jupiter is in the 7th house in its own sign, and also is ruling the 4th house of property, happiness in the home environment, and we can also say it indicates mother. We can see that all these four planets we talked about, which are Mercury, Venus, Moon, and Jupiter, are all in fairly a good position in Tiger Woods' birth chart. Now we see that Rahu is in the 2nd house and Ketu is sitting in the 8th house. Now, one thing as an astrologer we understand is wherever Rahu and Ketu are posited in the chart, one has to go through the circumstances caused by Rahu and Ketu, and no one can ever escape it. Which, what I mean to say is, it does not matter whether one is a wealthy or poor person, or ugly or beautiful, one has to bear the impact that Rahu and Ketu will bring to the native sometime or the other in one's life, and especially during the Mahadasha of Ketu and Rahu. There is no escaping that, as I mentioned earlier. So in this chart, we can see that the ascendant degree is 0.53, and Rahu and Ketu's degrees are 27 minutes and 24 degrees. So we can see that it is almost a very tight orb, almost like 5 degrees, I can say, between the ascendant degree and Rahu and Ketu's degree. So when the time period of Rahu and Ketu comes, it will definitely impact the houses they aspect. Also, we need to remember that transiting Rahu and Ketu could also bring about certain bad and sudden calamities in one's life. Now, we all know that 6th house, 8th house, and 12th houses in any chart are considered Dustana houses, means it's not a very good house in the chart. It's not considered good, I should say. So whenever Mool Trikona is placed in these Dustana bhavas, such as for Saturn, Aquarius is Mool Trikona; for Mars, Aries is Mool Trikona; for Sun, Leo is its Mool Trikona. So it's clear that Saturn, Mars, and Sun are not in a very good position in Tiger Woods' chart. That we see that from his placement of the planets in his chart. Now, Saturn, the ruler of the 6th, goes into the 11th. Saturn ruling the 6th house indicates illness and accidents. Saturn's third aspect is on the Lagna. 7th aspect is on the 5th house, 10th aspect is on the 8th house. Now Mars is in the 9th house retrograde. Now Mars aspects the 12th house, 3rd house and the 4th house. Now Mars gets the courage and shows Tiger Woods' athletic capacity. Now Mars also rules the 3rd house. Moon, we see, is the ruler of the 11th house of income and gain and is placed in the 3rd house, which goes to show that his luck in his ability to make income through friendships, and he also will get name and fame and also recognition. And it also shows that he will get some significant windfall during the Mahadasha of Moon. So far we have only studied his birth chart, and when we look at Mahadasha, we see his Mahadasha of Mars, which started in June 2020, will run until November of 2021. Now Mars in his chart is the ruler of the 8th house. Usually Mars in 8th house indicates transformation, setbacks, delays, obstacles, sudden events, accidents, and even we can say near-death like incidences. So significant events are usually connected with the transits of the planets in the sky. So if you see the transit chart here, we see that Mars is going through the 9th house over his natal Mars. 9th house is house of luck and fortune, and we see Mars is aspecting the 12th house of hospitalization. 12th house also denotes moksha like experiences. Mars also aspects the 3rd house. Now Venus, you see, is placed in the 3rd house, indicating vehicles. Mars means aggressiveness, so speed in driving. Mars also aspects the 4th house of vehicles. So you see how everything is coming together. So here we can see clearly on February 23rd, Mars transiting his natal Mars in his birth chart, where Mars rules the 8th house of accident and near-death experience. He must have driven the car with some high speed, causing this unfortunate accident. And we see the correlation of Mars, vehicles, speed, 4th house, Venus, and the 8th house all at one time, how things are coming together. So there is another aspect which needs to be pointed out here, which is Rahu. Now Rahu was also transiting the 9th house along with Mars that day. Tiger Woods is running Mars Mahadasha and Rahu Antardasha. Now Rahu basically denotes unexpected events. Rahu aspects the ascendant, 3rd house and the 5th house. Note that Jupiter is transiting the 5th house in a debilitated state. Now Jupiter rules the 4th house of vehicles and transportation as well. We see that transit Rahu is therefore impacting transit Jupiter, and Jupiter ruling the 4th house. So again, if we see the transit chart, Venus and Sun are in the 6th house of accidents in transit. Venus denotes vehicles. Sun is ruling the 12th house of hospitalization and is in transit in the 6th house. So we see how the birth chart, Mahadasha and Antardasha, and the transit and the effects of all these planets we discussed coming together all at once may have been the reason for bringing about Tiger Woods' accident, as per my interpretation. So this period will improve in the month of November 2021, when Jupiter Mahadasha will be starting. The Jupiter Mahadasha period should improve things for Tiger Woods for sure. So that was my, interpretation of Tiger Woods' chart, and we should all pray together for Tiger Woods' fast recovery, and we should sincerely hope and pray that he soon comes back to the golf arena to play the game again. That is my sincere wish, and hope you all will join me in wishing that. And if you have any comments about my interpretation of Tiger Woods chart today, so please let me know, and I would be happy to answer all of your questions. And thank you so much for watching.